everyone, and welcome to Who's Who Gospel Radio Interviews. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, it has been a minute, and I am glad to be back on the air. Y'all know that I was out due to some issues that were going on in my family and with myself as well back in 2018. So this is my second interview since I have been back, y'all. So I am just so happy and excited about my special guest today. And I just want to touch a little bit before we get started on some of the things that's going on in the world today. We know the pandemic is out here, and it is just really claiming lives, and at the same time, God is still healing. God is still working miracles. We will give the enemy no credit because we know God is still involved. He has not left our side. But as we go through this pandemic crisis, together, we need to all be encouraged and know that God is love. Even in a season like this where things appear to be unpredictable, God is still love. He is still healing the sick. He is still giving sight to the blind. He is still mending broken hearts. He's still protecting and providing each and every heart every day. So today I've got on the line my special guest, and I'm really thankful to have him on here because I tell you, sometimes we have artists that will give up on you. And he doesn't know this, what I'm about to say. But sometimes we have artists that give up on the radio announcers when they don't hear back from them right then. But he never gave up. He kept sending his stuff. He kept staying in contact with me, and I'm very thankful. And I have to give honor where honor is due because at that time when I was going through a lot of stuff, you know, you can't think sometimes when you're going through so much, but he still trusted me with his music, and I still continued to play it, and now I finally have the opportunity to do an interview with him, which I think is long overdue. I sure do. I think it's long overdue, but to God be the glory. We can do it today. So today I've got on the line with me a fellow who has been spreading the message that God is love across the world. He is doing his God is Love radio tour, and I am so blessed to be a part of that, as you can hear here today. And he is three-time Gospel Image Award winner and nominee for Rhythm of Gospel Awards and Queen City Music Awards, and has been seen on several different TV shows, YouTube videos, etc., y'all. I'm telling you. So I'd like to welcome to my show Steve Dalton of Steve Dalton and the Leviticus Singers of Charlotte, North Carolina.
Coco, thank you. Thank you so much for that warm welcome. I certainly appreciate it. To God be the glory. Thank you so much.
Amen. It is a pleasure, like I said, an honor to have you here on the line with me. I'm telling you, we should have been done this thing, but, you know, in God's timing, because this is the season for it. You know, the God is Love radio tour, and this is just what people need to hear in a time where they don't know what to think or how they're going to be provided for it. So you have the message. You have the message, and you have your chance to share it right here today on Who's Who Gospel Radio Interviews. All right, so tell us a little bit about yourself. Well, first of all, let me ask you, how are you and your family and your crew doing?
Once again, thank you for having me. As you said, you know, we definitely have been playing a little phone tag, but with good reason at the end of the day. But we have made it here today, so again, I'm thankful and grateful. We're doing well. Definitely no complaints. You know, the Lord is yet still providing, and even with our singers and everything, and their family, not just them, but their families, because what we do is a family thing, which means their families are our families too, and then friends. I mean, in our circle, everybody's doing good. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, it's all about faith, and that's what we've always taught, and that's what everybody believes at the end of the day. And you said something important, that God is in control. I mean, and really all we have to do is just simply just rest in him and just know that, you know, that his way is the way. Our thoughts are not his thoughts, and we can't figure it out. So we have to find faith and trust and just believe that he'll make everything, you know, well. So that's kind of where we are. So God is love. I mean, it's here. Thank you to you and so many other radio stations that have, embraced the song across the country. Is doing real well at radio. It's been number one actually on radio for like the last 9 weeks. That's not a bragging point, but I'm just saying that to say, I think the Lord just really breathed on this song and the power of the testimony. If you've heard it, and even if you saw the video to go with it, I mean, it just brings everything home. And I'm just glad that He chose us in this season, in this moment, just to have a message that people can definitely hold on to, that they can just glean from and find faith in.
Amen. Amen. That is so wonderful and so true. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started in the gospel music and ministry.
Yeah. Like many people, many artists, I would say, grew up in church baby since the age of 2, and just grew up in the ranks of the church. Been doing music literally all my life. I mean, literally since the age of 5. One thing led to another. Played multiple instruments coming up. Um, did choirs and things like that. And in 1999, I was contacted to spearhead it was a national conference that came to Charlotte and from churches across the country, and they reached out to me in regards to being over the music. And so we had that conference for 3 years. And at the end of the third year, which was 2002, the Lord had kind of spoken, confirmed what had already been spoken over my life at around the age of 5 in regards to me doing music outside of the four walls. So that's how we got started. And the Lord spoke, and I gave the vision. And some people could be a part, and then some couldn't for various reasons, for geographical or it was seasonal. But nonetheless, I mean, I just, I heeded the call. I shared the vision and ran with it. And now, so many years later, we're here, and we're glad, what's going on with us and where He has us, and again, what we're providing for people to actually hear and to embrace for their own lives. So we're excited that He chose us for that.
All right, that's amazing right there. Because when you have a calling on your life, wow, it's just amazing the places that God will take you to, and the people that He will put in your path to speak into your life. And the next thing you know, you go from A to B, and you just on another level. Amen.
Absolutely.
Now you said something that I like right there. When you said the vision, you took the vision and you ran with it. How now? So many times, we go to different places and we can tell, pretty much when the group isn't really all together, And I noticed one thing about your group is that always when y'all are together, and I did see you one time, but I can't remember where that place was, so I cannot remember. Forgive me, I can't remember, but I remember seeing y'all one time. It may have been Durham or somewhere, one of those areas. I remember seeing you.
Sure.
But when I saw the group, I was like amazed that not only were you friendly, as artists, as gospel artists ministering, but when you came down from that stage, y'all was still ministering. Y'all was still the same. And I'm talking about not just you, but even your background singers. How important is it for you that your background singers picked up that vision that you had and just ran right along with it with you?
Yeah. I mean, how can it's a saying that goes, when a leader is taking a trip, or he's on a trip by himself, he don't have no followers, and he's just taking a trip. I'm just grateful to God that I have people that believe in the vision, and that's just the difference. Not just the fact of they just want to go sing somewhere, but they just believed in what I had shared, what the Lord had given me. And like spirits, kindred hearts, at the end of the day, if you ever meet me in person, I am always the same. I don't care what we've won. I don't care where we've been. I'm extremely friendly, because at the end of the day, people were friendly to me, and that's just how I grew up anyway. And so my singers are the same, and we go a lot of places. We meet a lot of different people at a lot of different events, but we're always the same. And that's one thing I really kind of, I really give God praise for, that, that he's already prepared us to go into places versus us not being prepared and we get into those places and we don't have the character to go with it, if that makes any sense. So I thank God for that. That at the end of the day, we just still the same, man. We go places, we worship. We don't care if nobody else is standing up. I'm going to get up and I'm going to support an artist. It don't matter. I don't care if they're quacking like a duck. I'm gonna do my part, because at the end of the day, it's not about what they're doing per se, but at the end of the day, it's about what I'm giving in that moment from what's being received, what I'm offering unto the Lord. And I don't want to, I don't want to do it in vain. And as a group, we just say the same thing, man. So it don't matter. And just to keep it real, it ain't even that serious, man. Some people get caught up and be stars. It ain't that serious, man. We're gonna go here. We're gonna go eat somewhere like the rest of them. We gonna go, and it's not that serious.
I hear you now. That's true. That is so true. And you know what? When you said that you would be the only one standing up, I think that day at that program that you was.
I probably was.
You was the one standing up, and it was kind of like people were trying to be dry, but you were still.
Sure.
But
me.
that's all right, though.
Absolutely.
That one can make a difference, because afterwards the rest started falling in behind, right?
Absolutely. You got it. Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay, so the God is Love tour. Tell us about the song and how you came up with that song, because, this is what we need. This is prophetic. Wow. This is what we need in this season right now.
Wow. Yeah, the Lord gave me this song last February, and, he just dropped it or downloaded it in my spirit, whatever you want to call it. And I just started getting the words, started putting the music together at home, have a studio at home, so I started putting everything together at home. And then, now the video, that came a little bit, a few weeks after that, per se, once I got the lyrics, and then I just started thinking of people's stories. That's a part of my ministry. Because if you saw you did support our first single a couple years ago, I Win, which did really good. We had a powerful video with that showed some situations regarding my singers. And so now this new song, I also featured my singers and their stories. It just came, and those stories, if you ever seen the video, and I want to just keep pressing that, those are real stories. They are not fake stories. They're not made up stories. Those scenarios that you see in that video for my singers, and they're all my singers, those are real. And that's just how he gave it. Just the words, they just started running, and he started giving it. And the video, I wrote the treatment, as they call it, or however you want to call it. And, and he just did everything else. And I'm just honored that, that he selected me, with that song. Because as a songwriter, I know people say they get songs a lot of different ways, but I ultimately believe that the Lord chooses people to deliver songs. That's just me. Somebody else may not believe that, but I believe that the Lord chooses people to deliver songs, and I'm glad that he chose me. He allowed me, or he lended us this song to give to people.
Amen. And I believe that same way as well, because that song, it is all right by me, and I have been playing it every Saturday, y'all that are listening. Every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on UGA Gospel Storm. I play that song every Saturday. And it's uplifting, and if someone is going through something, it's got words in it that just brings you out to remember that, hey, why are you worrying about this? God is love. He said he'll take care of you.
Wow.
And then you want to get up and move. I tell you, when I'm playing it, I get up and I do a little exercise to it.
my wife does too. My wife does too. To God be the glory. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, it's a real happy song, and it's nothing really to sit down on. Like, honestly, if I was like riding in a car with a car full of quiet folks, I would burst out with it, and they'd be like, what's wrong with her? But, that's how good this song is, really, because it really ministers to your spirit. And I want to say something else, too. It doesn't just minister to get you up out of your seat, but people who are going through depression and anxiety, they need this right now. And how do I know? I can testify to it, because when I was going through anxiety, this was one of the songs I